Welcome to TOneAcademy. In our last videos, we discussed concepts of time, speed and distance, and we solved some of the problems from this time, speed and distance. So today in this video, we are going to discuss one more important concept which is related to this time, speed and distance only, that is relative speed. Okay, what is this relative speed, and now we are going to solve the questions from this relative speed. We will see. See students, first of all we should know what is this relative speed meaning. Till now in all the problems we have seen only speeds. Why? What is the reason? Why? Because there is only one moving object. When there is only one moving object, we will have speed. When there is only one moving object, we will have speed. But when there are two moving objects, if I want to tell the relation between their speeds, instead of speed, we will have relative speed. What is this relative speed? First of all, let us assume what is the difference between the speed and the relative speed generally. For example, there is a person. There is a person A and B. There are 2 points A and B. Assume there are 2 points A and B. And two different persons X and Y are starting in this manner, are standing in this two position. For example, if Y doesn't move, here assume that Y is stationary. Only X is moving towards B. X is moving towards B. After what time he will reach B, tell me? Assume the distance between these two is some D. Assume the distance. Anyway, here Y is stationary. X only should travel all the distance and then he should meet Y. So what is the time taken to meet Y means what? Distance by speed of X. Speed of X. Why? Because only X is moving. For example, similarly, if the distance between 2 points A and B is B, and both the persons, X started moving towards B and Y started moving towards A. Now tell me where they both will meet. Where they both will meet. They both will meet somewhere in between A and B, right? Somewhere in between A and B. Why? What is the reason? Why? Because both X as well as Y are moving here. Sir, in these cases, will the distance covered will be same? Will the distance covered will be same? Here X is traveling entire D distance, but here X will travel some distance, Y will travel some distance. Assume the total distance is D means anyway the distance travelled by X and Y will become what? D only. D only. Now what will happen here, students? Please observe here. Assume this meeting point is somewhere here. Assume it as some C. Meeting point is C. And if the distance between these two is A, what is the distance between these two? D minus A, right? D minus A, right? Anyway, both the persons are moving the same distance or different distance based on their speeds. Now what will happen to the time taken to meet? Time taken to meet. Now it will become what? Anyway, X will travel some distance, Y will travel some distance. Their cumulative distance will be what? The same distance D. But what happens to their relative speed? Their relative speed will become what? Plus. That means what? Speed of X plus speed of Y. So from this we can understand that. When two persons are moving in opposite directions with the speeds S1 and S2, and if they meet at some point and the distance between them is some D, so when two persons are moving in opposite direction, what happened to their relative speed? Their relative speed will be equal to S1 plus S2. And similarly, if two persons are moving in same direction, if two persons are moving in same direction, what will be the relative speed, students? Tell me. For example, if one person covers 5 kilometers, one person covers some 5 kilometers. The other person covers some 4 kilometers. So in every 1 hour, the distance difference between them will become what? 1 kilometer. Why? Because every 1 hour, the first person will travel 1 kilometer more than my second person. And when it comes to second hour, what is the difference between them? 2 kilometers. How I am telling that means here the relative speed will become what? Modulus of S1 minus S2. Why? Because we don't know who will travel with what distance. Let us take the case of police and thief only, students. Police and thief case. Let us take an example of police and thief. What happens is, A police observes a thief at some 10 kilometers distance. At some 10 kilometers distance. In what time the police will go and catch the thief? That is the question. In what time the police will catch? For example, police speed is some 5 kmph and thief speed is some 4 kmph. One basic question here, students. For time being, assume if thief's speed is more than police's speed, can the police catch the thief? No, not at all. So definitely the person who is chasing will have the maximum speed. That is the common sense. Then only he can catch the other person. Otherwise, he can never catch the other person. Now see here, the distance between them is what? 10 kilometers. Now 1 hour is passed. 1 hour is passed. My police will run what distance? 5 kilometers. When it comes to thief, he will run just 4 kilometers. So what is the distance between them now? It will come down to 9 kilometers. So how, sir? Why? Because the thief will travel 4, the police will travel 5. So actual distance between them is 10. It came down to 9. When it comes to next hour, it will come down to 8 kilometers. And it will come to 7 and so on, and some point it will come to 0 kilometers. 0 kilometers. That means in what time the two persons will beat means distance by relative speed. Here both are moving in same direction, so relative speed will become what? Minus. So distance between them is 10 and the relative speed is between them is what? 1. 5 minus 4. Difference between their speeds will become relative speed if two persons move in the same direction. Two persons move in the same direction. So that means the police is going to catch the thief in what time? In 10 hours of time. The police is going to catch the thief in what time? 10 hours of time. So here relative speed means relative speed. If two persons are moving in opposite directions, if two persons are moving in opposite directions with speeds s1 and s2, then relative speed will become sum of their speeds. Relative speed will become sum of their speeds s1 plus s2. And similarly, if two persons are moving in same direction, with speeds s1 and s2, then relative speed will become what? Modulus of s1 minus s2. Difference between their speeds will become the relative speed and sum of their speeds will become the relative speed. See, when there is two moving objects, instead of speed always we will have the relative speed. So based on their movement, if they move in opposite direction, the relative speed will be sum of their speeds. If they move in same direction, relative speed will be difference between their speeds. So this is the concept of relative speed, students. This is the concept of relative speed. Now we will solve some of the questions from this relative speed concept. Now the first one. The distance between two stations A and B is 800 kilometers. Okay. Distance between two stations A and B is what? 800 kilometers. Okay, good, superb. A train X starts from A and moves towards B at 40 kmph. A train X starts from A with a speed of 40 kmph and is moving towards B. And another train Y starts from B and moves towards A with a speed of 60 kmph. How far from A will they cross each other? First of all, to get the distance, we need to find the time taken to meet. See, when two objects are moving in opposite direction, what about their relative speed, students? Sum of their speed. So 40 plus 60. So your relative speed will become what? 100 kmph. Now the time taken by both X and Y to meet. So time taken to meet is equal to distance by relative speed. Instead of speed, here we will have relative speed. So distance is what here? 800 kilometers and the relative speed is here 100. So what it becomes? 8 hours of time. That means after 8 hours of the start of their journey, they both will meet each other. Now the question is, how far from A will they cross each other? That means after meeting only they cross each other, right? So how far from A means after starting 8 hours there. Now tell me, far from A, right? They are asking distance between this. That means X will travel. The train X will travel what time? 8 hours of time. So if you were able to find what is the distance covered by train X in 8 hours of time, that is the distance from A they will meet, right? So therefore, distance covered by X in 8 hours is equal to, speed is what? 40 and the time is what? 8. 40 into 8, that means what? 320 kilometers. That means at a distance of 320 kilometers, both the trains X and Y will meet each other. For example, if the question is how far from Y means, what I would have done? Distance covered by Y in X hours. Y in 8 hours. Y in 8 hours. But here how far from A? So the train which is starting from A is X and it is traveling what time? 8 hours of time to meet the Y, to meet the train Y. So that means with 40 kmph in 8 hours, what is the distance covered by train X? It is 320 kilometers. It is 320 kilometers. So our answer is 320 kilometers. If the question is how far from B will they cross each other means, I would have found Y will cover what distance in 8 hours. Okay, right? Here the answer is 320 kilometers. Next one. A driver of a Maruti car driving at a speed of 68 kmph locates a bus 40 meters ahead of him. So initially there is a car and there is a bus. Initially the car driver observed that the bus is 40 meters ahead of him. 40 meters ahead of him. After 10 seconds, the bus is 60 meters behind him. Now after 10 seconds, what is the scenario? The bus came to this position and the car came to a position which is 60 meters. The car observed that the bus was 60 meters behind him. Now tell me, effectively the distance covered. I am not speaking about the total distance covered by car. Effectively with respect to bus, what is the distance covered by my car? Tell me. From 40 minutes behind to 60 minutes ahead. 60 meters ahead. From 40 meters behind to 60 meters ahead. So what is the distance covered here? Tell me. By car. Relative distance. I am not talking about the complete distance. Relative distance with the bus is what? 100 meters, right? The relative distance. Why I am using the word relative means, see here, meanwhile when the car is moving means obviously the bus also moves. It doesn't mean that bus is stationary, just the car is moving 40 minutes behind to 60 meters ahead. No, it is not like that. That is the reason I use the word relative. Both bus and car are moving. Both bus and car are moving. Slow. Obviously the car speed will be more than bus. At some point of time the car will come parallel to bus and once again it will cross the bus and it will go to this position. So this is first position and this is next position. So the relative distance covered by them is what? 100 meters. 100 meters. Now please here find the speed of the bus. Here the units plays an important role here, students. Please observe, speed of the car is what they given for us? 68 kmph. And the distance is in what? Meters. And the time is what? Time is what? 10 seconds. Time is what? 10 seconds. So meters and seconds, and this one is in kmph. And obviously the speed of bus also will be given in kmph only. Now tell me which one will be better for us. See, these are small units. Anyway, the speed will be asked in kmph later. So what my suggestion is, we will find the relative speed. Okay. We will find the speed of the bus in general, and then we will see the remaining things. Now first of all, please find the relative speed in time is equal to what? Time is equal to distance by speed. So time they given for us what it is? 10. What is the distance here? 100. And the relative speed we don't know. For time being, assume it as we don't know. Relative speed. Instead of speed, we will have relative speed. So what happens to the relative speed here, students? 10 meters per second. But please convert that into kmph. So that will become what? 10 into, how I can convert it into kmph? 18 by 5 kmph. 18 by 5 kmph. 5 ones, 5 twos. It will become what for me here? 36 kmph. Relative speed is what for me here? 36 kmph. Speed of the car is 68 kmph. Speed of the bus, we don't know, let us assume it as some x, but the relative speed between speed of the car and speed of the bus is 36 kmph. Just now we calculated what it is, 36 kmph. See here students, very clear, speed of the car is more than speed of the bus, then only it can overtake and it can move ahead of the bus. So what is the relative speed? Speed of car minus speed of bus, that is equal to 36. Speed of car is how much here? 68 minus x is equal to 36. So what is x here? 32 kmph. 32 kmph. So the speed of bus is how much here? 32 kmph. 32 kmph. See here students, don't make it complicated, make it simple. First, with the relative distance and the time we have, find the relative speed. Relative speed will be what? 36 kmph. And we have relative speed and you have speed of the car given in the question. We need to find simply speed of the bus. Speed of the bus. So speed of the bus is here how much? 32 kmph. 32 kmph. Please be careful with units. Please find this data in meter per second. Okay. And when it is required, then only convert it into kmph. Okay. Next one. A thief committed a crime and escaped from the spot at a speed of 12 meters per hour or miles per hour, whatever it may be. Anyway, the question is also in miles per hour, so we will assume it as miles per hour. A security guard started chasing him 20 minutes after the thief started running, okay, and caught him in the next 20 minutes. Now see here, assume this is the theft spot. This is the theft spot. The thief stolen from this and he ran for what time? He ran for 20 minutes. He ran for 20 minutes at a speed of 12 miles per hour. 12 miles per hour or 12 meters per hour, whatever it may be. 12 miles per hour. Let us take it as miles per hour. Why? Because meters means very small distance. So that is the reason we will go with miles. 12 miles per hour. So in 20 minutes, how much distance he can cover? Tell me. Thief can cover what distance in 20 minutes? Thief can cover what a distance in 20 minutes. 20 minutes is equal to speed is 12 into 1 by 3. 20 minutes into hours 1 by 3. So he can cover what? 4 miles. Assume it as 4 miles. So that means now from the spot to the thief, what is the distance between these two persons? These two things is 4 miles. At this instant, the security guard observed the thief. At this instance, now here the security guard is there. Security guard. And he caught the thief in the next 20 minutes. He caught the thief in the next 20 minutes. He caught the thief in the next 20 minutes. Now, obviously the speed of the security guard should be more. Then only he can catch the thief. Right? So, relative speed will become what? Tell me here. Relative speed will become what? Speed of the security minus speed of the thief. Okay, for time being, put that aside. Now he is catching the thief in what? Next 20 minutes. So what is the formula for time? Distance by relative speed. Distance by relative speed. What is the time here? 20 minutes. That is equal to what? 1 by 3. And what is the distance between the thief and the security guard now? 4 miles. 4 miles. So first we need to find this distance. That distance is very, very important. So 4 miles by relative speed. By relative speed. So what happens to my relative speed here? Relative speed here will become 12 miles per hour. Relative speed here becomes 12 miles per hour. And now we will substitute that here. So it becomes what for me? 12 is equal to speed of the security guard we need to find minus speed of the thief is how much? 12. So when I send this to 12 to this side, speed of the security will become what? 24 miles per hour. So speed of the security is here how much? 24 miles per hour. See here students, the first thing is after the theft has happened, the thief will run, right? And he will run without the starting. Now the security guard doesn't observe it. In this 20 minutes, he will cover what distance? 4 miles of distance. At that point, the security observed the theft. Then he started chasing the thief. That means the distance between them, first we need to find in 20 minutes how much distance was covered by thief. The security guard started chasing him 20 minutes after the thief started running. So the first thief will run for 20 minutes freely. So how much distance he will cover? 4 miles. Now the difference between the thief and the security guard is 4 miles. At that instant, the security guard also started running. Because of that reason, we are taking the distance as 4 miles here. We are taking the distance between the thief and security guard as 4 miles. Okay. Next one. A thief steal a car at 2:30 p.m. and drive at a speed of 60 km/h. Okay. Police came to know about the theft at 3:30 p.m. and started chasing him with the speed of 70 km/h. After how much kilometers police will catch the thief? Okay. Now see here, students. Please observe here. At 2:30, the thief has stolen the car at this position and he will travel some distance. Now the time is 3:30. Now the time is 3:30. At 3:30, 1 hour is passed, right? The thief will go at a speed of what? 60 km/h. That means in 1 hour of time, he will cover what distance? 60 kilometers. In 1 hour of time, he will cover what distance? Now the police is here and the thief is here. Now the police started chasing him. What will be the relative speed here? Police speed is 70 km/h and thief speed is 60 km/h. So 70 minus 60, what is the relative speed here? 10 km/h. That means the time taken to catch is equal to distance by relative speed. Distance is what? 60 and relative speed is what? 10. So that means the police will catch the thief in what time? 6 hours of time. After chasing, he will catch in 6 hours of time. Now they are asking us, after how much kilometers the police will catch the thief? The police is traveling for what time? 6 hours. The police is traveling for what time? 6 hours of time. So in 6 hours of time, distance traveled by police will become what? Distance traveled by police in 6 hours. Distance traveled by police in 6 hours will become what? 6 into 70. That is equal to 420 kilometers. That police will travel 420 kilometers to catch the thief. The police will travel 420 kilometers to catch the thief. Understood, students? So the theft has happened at 3:30, but the police started chasing at 2:30, but the police started chasing at 3:30. So in 1 hour, the thief will travel a distance of 60 kilometers. 60 kilometers. Now the distance between these two, police and thief, became what? 60, and now both are moving. So when both are moving, we will have relative speed. And both are moving in same direction means the difference between their speeds will become the chasing means what, ma? Chasing means what? Same direction only. So that is the reason relative speed became what? 10 km/h and the remaining things. But they are not asking us after what time the police will catch the thief. They are asking that the police will travel what distance to catch the thief. After 6 hours, the police will catch the thief. But the distance covered them will become what? 6 into 70, which is 420. Okay. Next one. Points A and B are 70 kilometers apart on a highway. Okay. One car starts from A and the another one from B. Okay. Point A and B are 70 kilometers apart on a highway. Okay. Okay, good, superb. One car starts from A and the other one from B at the same time. If they travel in the same direction, they meet in 7 hours. That means if they travel in the same direction, they meet in same hours. That means, 1 second. Let us assume that car starting from A is X and car starting from B is Y. If they move in same direction, they both will meet after what time? 7 hours. But if they travel towards each other, that means X is moving in this direction, Y is moving in this direction. Here they will take 7 hours and here they will take just 1 hour. With 1 hour. The speeds of the two cars are respectively. Now this is my first case and this is my second case. Okay. First case. What is the relative speed, ma? Speed of X plus or speed of X minus speed of Y. Why? Because obviously X speed will be more, then only you can chase B. Speed of X minus speed of Y. In the second case, what is the relative speed? In the second case, what is the relative speed for us? Speed of x plus speed of y. Why? Because they are moving in opposite directions. Now, time taken to meet here. Time formula is what? Distance by relative speed. So, what is the time in first case? 7 hours. Distance is 70. 70 by s of x minus s of y. So, 7 ones, 7 tens. So, sx minus sy is equal to what? 70 in my first case. Now, come to second case. What is the time taken to meet? 1 hour. What is the distance? 70 kilometers. What is the speeds? Sx plus sy. So, speed of x plus speed of y will become what for me here? 70. Okay, now you have two equations. You can easily find the speeds. What are the two equations? Speed of x minus speed of y is equal to 10 here. Is equal to 10. And speed of x plus speed of y is equal to 70. Here these two will get cancelled. So, 2 times of speed of x will become what? 80. Speed of x will become what? 40. What about speed of y, students? Speed of y will become obviously 30. You can substitute in any one of these two equations. You will get. So, 40 and 30 are their speeds respectively. 40 and 30 are their speeds respectively. Okay, understood? If they move in same direction, they meet after 7 hours. If they move in opposite direction, they meet after 1 hour. So, simply we found the relative speed and then we calculated the remaining things. Okay, next one. Two persons living in different towns, 32 kilometers apart, started at 1 p.m. to see each other at the rate of 3.5 kmph and 4. When will they meet and how many kilometers will they meet? Will each then walk? Okay. Two persons living in different towns, 32 kilometers apart, started from 1 p.m. to each other. Okay, at the rate of 3 km. Okay. The distance between these two is 32 kmph, 32 kilometers, and one is moving with a speed of 3.5 kmph and the other one is moving with a speed of 4.5 kmph. What is the relative speed here? Tell me. They are moving in opposite direction, so the relative speed will become what? 8 kmph. Relative speed will become what? 8 kmph. So, they both will meet after what time? Tell me. Time is equal to distance by relative speed. So, distance is 32 by 8. They both will meet after 4 hours. They both will meet after. When they meet, and how many kilometers will each then walk? Okay. After meeting, each will walk what distance? See here, students, this is not this one 4 hours. Now, what is the distance covered by my first person? 3.5 into 4. 3.5 into 4. What it becomes? He will cover a distance of 18 kilometers. And he will cover what distance, students? 4.5 into 4. He will cover a distance of 3.5 into 4. This will become 14, not 18. This will become 14 kilometers. And the second person will cover what distance? 18 kilometers. 18 kilometers. When they meet, how much each then walk? So, 14 kilometers and 18 kilometers. Here the option set is wrong, but first person will cover 14 kilometers and second person will cover 18 kilometers. 18 kilometers. Understood? So, 3.5 into 4, 14, 4.5 into 4, 18. Okay. Next one. Tom spots Jerry 200 meters ahead of him. Okay. And started chasing him. Okay. Tom and Jerry we have. Here it is Tom and here it is Jerry. And the distance between them is given as what? 200 meters. Okay, good, superb. Now, Jerry realizes this after 4 minutes and start running away from him. Okay. Now, initially, who started running first? Tom started running first. Okay. In one leap, now come to the distances covered. We will come to that next case later. In one leap, Tom covers how many meters? 3 meters. So, Tom, one leap, he is going to cover 3 meters. When it comes to Jerry, in one leap, he is going to cover 2 meters. He is going to cover 2 meters. Also, in 1 minute, Tom takes 12 leaps and Jerry takes 16 leaps. Tom takes 12 leaps So 12 leaps will become what, students? 3 into 12, 3 into 12, 36 meters. That means Tom will cover 36 meters in 12 in 1 minute. When it comes to Jerry, Jerry takes 16 leaps. It will take just 16 leaps. So what you can take here? 16 leaps is equal to 16 twos are 32 meters. That means Tom will cover 36 meters per minute. When it comes to Jerry, Jerry will cover what distance? Okay, Jerry will cover 32 meters per minute. Okay. Next. After 4 minutes and starting running, and the difference between them. After 4 minutes, okay, Tom spots Jerry 200 meters ahead of him and starts chasing him. Okay, the first 4 minutes. In that 4 minutes, tell me, what is the distance covered by my Jerry? In that 4 minutes, the distance covered by my Tom, not Jerry, sorry. Tom, distance covered by Tom in 4 minutes will become 36 into 4. 36 into 4. What it becomes, students? 144 meters. 144 meters. That means the time when Jerry starts running, what is the difference between them? Actual difference is 200 meters. But is that difference continuing? No. Initially Tom started running. So now the difference between them became what? 56 meters. Now both Tom as well as Jerry are running. And in what time the Tom will catch the Jerry? Anyway, the time was also in minutes. So don't get confused between meters and minutes. We will go in meters and minutes only. Okay. Now, what is the relative speed? Tell me. Both are running in the same direction. What is the speed? 36 meters per minute and its speed is 32 meters per minute. So, 36 minus 32 meters per minute. So, what is the answer you will get here? 4 meters per minute is the relative speed. 4 meters per minute is the relative speed. So, time taken to meet is nothing but the time taken to catch is equal to distance by relative speed. What is the distance between Tom and Jerry now? 56 meters. And what is the relative distance speed between them? 4 meters per minute. So, that means the Tom is going to catch Jerry in 14 minutes. In 14 minutes, Tom is going to catch the Jerry. See here, students. Initially, the distance is 200 meters. Yes, accepted. But both Tom and Jerry are not running at that time. Only Tom is running. Tom will cover what distance in 4 minutes? Initial 4 minutes means it is going to cover 36 into 4, 144 minutes. At that instance, Jerry started running. So now both are running and the distance between them is what? 56 meters. Now we will apply the relative speed concept here. Why? Because two moving objects, Tom and Jerry. Tom's speed is what? 36 meters per minute. Jerry's speed is 32 meters per minute. So the difference between them is 4 meters per minute is the relative speed. So this is how we will find the problems. Okay. Next one. Two guns. This is one of the important questions, students. We should understand the concept here very carefully. Two guns were fired from the same place at an interval of 15 minutes. Okay. But a person in a bus approaching the place hears the second report 14 minutes. See here, students. Assume that if 2 points are fixed. Now, when first gun is fired, he will listen it after 15 minutes. Next, similarly, if he is not moving, if he is stationary, when second shot is fired, as usual, he should listen it for what distance, what time? 15 minutes only. But what is happening here? As this person is approaching this firing zone, he will hear the second sound. The time difference between the first sound and second sound is what? 14 minutes 30 seconds. 14 minutes 30 seconds. So that means what will happen? Let us assume that sound journey. If he is stationary, now the difference between these two persons is some d. So the gun was fired. So the sound will travel what? All the d distance. But when the second one is fired, the sound traveled just for what time? 14 minutes 30 seconds. Why? What is the reason? The sound distance was obstructed by what time? The sound distance was obstructed by 30 seconds. That means if he is stationary, the sound would have traveled for more what distance? The sound would have traveled for more 30 seconds. But he is approaching the firing zone. the sound travel distance was cut by what time? 30 seconds. That means in this 30 seconds, this is the distance which usually the sound will cover, right? So distance covered by sound in 30 seconds. If he is stationary, the sound would have traveled more this 30 seconds, and exactly after 15 minutes, he will listen the second sound. But is he stationary? No, he is moving towards the firing zone. So this distance will be covered by sound in what time? 30 seconds. Now the same distance was covered by that man in what time? This 14 minutes 30 seconds, right? Why? Because he heard the second sound in 14 minutes 30 seconds. That means meanwhile in this 14 minutes 30 seconds, he is in a journey. He is in a journey. That means the distance covered by sound in 30 seconds is equal to distance travelled by man in distance travelled by man in 14 minutes 30 seconds. Is it correct or not? See, if he is not travelling, if he is idle, definitely would have heard the second sound also after 15 minutes. But is he idle? No, he is approaching that place. He is going towards that place. That means because of his movement, sound lost a journey of 30 seconds. That means this 30 seconds travel was lost by sound because of what? Because of journey of that man for 14 minutes 30 seconds. So that is the reason distance covered by sound in 30 seconds. This distance will be covered by sound in 30 seconds. The same distance was covered by man in what? 14 minutes 30 seconds. What is the speed of the sound they given for us? 330 meter per second. 330 meters. So distance covered by sound in 30 seconds will become what? 330 into 30. That is equal to distance travelled by man in 14 minutes 30 seconds. We don't know what is the distance between them. Okay. The same distance. Distance formula is what, students? Speed into time. Speed of that man. Speed of that bus. We is travelling in by a bus, right? So speed of a bus into time is what? 14 minutes 30 seconds. This one was meter per second, seconds. So 14 minutes 30 seconds means how much it will become, students? 14 into 6. 14 6 are 840 seconds and 30 seconds. So total 870 seconds. 870 seconds. 870 seconds. So what it becomes, students? 0 0 get cancelled. 3 ones 3 29s. So speed of the bus will become what for me here? 330 by 29. 330 by 29 meters per second. Meters per second. Please be careful, if it is given in kmph, please convert that into kmph. What it becomes? 330 by 29 into 18 by 5 kmph. Okay, speed of the bus. Based on the options given, you can choose the perfect one. Okay, understood? So you should understand this logic. Distance covered by sound in 30 seconds is equal to distance travelled by man in or bus in 14 minutes 30 seconds. 14 minutes 30 seconds. Here the sound had lost a journey of 30 seconds. This journey was covered by that bus in 14 minutes 30 seconds. Understood? This is the problem. Okay. Now students, these are the questions which are based on relative speed. In our next video, we will see some more questions from this time, speed and distance only, which were asked in previous examinations and all those things. Thank you. Thank you very much.